6:06 a.m., October 7th. Judy and Gadi Haggai embark on their morning routine walk in their kibbutz. That was to be their final walk, as it ended in tragedy. Laying face down, the couple captured the rocket attacks coming from Gaza. Both were killed on October 7th.
It's not just about my parents, it's about a whole community. 117 people disappeared from my life in one day.
Following the tragedy, Judy and Gadi's daughter Iris is now part of a lawsuit launched from the families of American victims of October 7th. They are suing Iran, turning their grief into action.
The point of all of my lawsuits is about accountability, about making sure we understand the role that the IRGC is playing in all of this. It's all about the October 7th attack that was led by Hamas, but it was also led by the Islamic regime in Iran who, makes sure that Hamas has their weapons, make sure that they operate the same way that the Islamic regime in Iran want them to operate.
The victims' families filed the lawsuit against Iran in the U.S. District Court in Washington on November 17th. The lawsuit, which has been reviewed by Iran International, is based on evidence presented by what attorneys for the plaintiffs say are secret documents uncovered by lawyer Gary Osen. Documents include itemized lists of payments made by Iran to Hamas leaders over the years and discussions of mutual defense agreements between Palestinian groups, Iran, and proxies. The lawsuit also outlines Iran's role in financing Hamas's operations. According to the document, the yearly amount received by Yahya Sinwar and Ismail Haniyeh range from $12 million to $48 million.
This lawsuit has evidence of that, and I'm hoping the world will wake up.
Yahya Sinwar.
But just how effective are lawsuits against rogue nations like Iran? We turn to international human rights lawyer Gisu Nia for answers.
It's a bit indirect because mostly the Islamic Republic of Iran direct assets that were, seized initially are already paid out and have already been paid out. But if people evade sanctions, if companies, for example, BNP Paribas, a bank that was doing banking with Islamic Republic of Iran officials and other affiliated entities, if they had to pay a certain penalty to the US government because they were found in violation of that, that's the kind of money that would go into a fund. Sometimes it's more direct in terms of the seized tankers or other seized assets. What can happen in these cases, though, is depending on who the judge is, they might order a more fulsome proceeding. So even though it's a default judgment, they might say, hey, you know what, as victims, you get to come in and give testimony about what happened to you. As families of victims, you get to speak about the impact these crimes had on you. So in that way, it can be a very comprehensive type of proceeding, even though there won't be the defendant's side coming in and sort of addressing the claims through counsel or other means.
For Iris, this lawsuit is just one step in a long journey.
They're not just doing this disgusting act by holding bodies, but also depriving us, their family, of closure